Bro, don't you hate when you see a new game on Steam and it's free and it has 83% positive reviews, but then the top review says something like, cute game for meow meow lovers. In the meow meow woods we jump and play, paws top softly as we chase the day, leaping high with hearts so dear, meow 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 we purr and cheer. The devs should have blocked your account. I will not, as a result of this positive review, my desire to play this game has gone to zero. It's gone to zero. You betrayed the developers. I farted myself to death. That's not funny. That happens to people. That happened to my Uncle Eric. Where's the Peloton stream title? I forgot. I didn't know what I was going to do on stream today until like 9:04. Actually, I still don't know what I'm going to do on stream today. Because I always expect that the world works on the North American time zone. Why the hell the Bazaar update starts patching at 9 a.m. Pacific time, finishes at 3 p.m. Pacific time? That's peak hours, bro. You should have pushed it at like 10 p.m. Pacific time and had it done by 4 a.m. Pacific time or something. Yes, there are 5 North American time zones. I don't know, there might be more. But like there's really 3, if I'm being honest. Hawaii Standard Time is a very small chunk of the population. Newfoundland Standard Time, even less. That's probably like 30,000 people or something. And I'm sorry to say it, Mountain Time should really just choose whether they want to be Central or Pacific. Because EST, PST, and CST have dominance over Mountain Time, I'm sorry to say. That's not a coastal elite take. Nobody in the Central Time Zone is a coastal elite, unless you're talking about like the Gulf Coast, which I wasn't, by the way. No disrespect to Galveston, never been there, possibly never will. You can't live on the coast of a lake. You live on the shore of a lake, not the coast. EST is goated, I'm sorry to say. I mean, it's probably like the second best North American time zone. I really feel like I'm biased, obviously, but Pacific is awesome. Explain to me what you think the downside of Pacific is. Your streams are later? No, they're not. They're literally at the same time, but the clock is earlier. Earthquakes, that's moving the goalposts. That's not related to the time zone. That's related to the geology of the biome. It's not related. Most of America's already awake and working. Yeah, that's why PT is great. Because you wake up and like you kind of immediately get hit with like 3 hours of like what the fuck happened. You don't have to like fart around. It's like, you're ready to go. Most of the world is done with their day. Okay, who asked? Like I don't give a fuck if people in Estonia are like at the pub. This doesn't make any damn sense. This is why would that be a negative at any capacity? Football starts too early. It's the weekend, buddy. You get 10 a.m. sports on the weekend, that's a dream come true. Flying PST to EST sucks? Okay, stay in PST then. I think you don't get it. You don't get it. Why are you asking me about Silksong? It was in the direct for like 3 seconds, and it was a screenshot that looked just like Hollow Knight 1. I'm not anti-Silksong, but they haven't shown anything. Like I just genuinely, I feel like I'm being trolled right now. They didn't show anything. We already know it exists. It's existed since like 2018 or something. It said 2025. I dead ass do not care at all. I'm not going to play it. And the reason I'm not going to play it is because of you. The Hollow Knight community is so annoying. And I finally feel like I've broken my chains to be able to say it out loud. Because there's no longer any nuance with Hollow Knight. Unless you claim it's one of the greatest games of all time, you just get into the Star Wars The Last Jedi discussion over and over and over again. It's so tiring, man. Well, it's not tiring. I could do this shit all day, but it's tiresome. Nobody played it? I feel like everybody played it. It was in humble bundles for like 99 cents, right? It's a good game. It's just like you can't say that, because unless you go, oh, it's the fucking greatest game of all time, people lose their minds, man, because they want to fuck the bugs. It's better than fine, okay? It's better than fine. There's no question about that. Is it as good as Guacamelee 2? It's up for discussion, man. I'm still waking up. First interval ride in like 3.5 weeks. Because like the week before I left, I was in zone 2 for the FTP test prep. Intervals, they got hands, man. How was the heart feeling? It had a little friction midway through the second interval, I would say. But it got through it. Boys, fellas, can we have an honest conversation? And you feel free to get the virtue signaling out of the way right off the bat. Go ahead and say it. No amount of chest pain is good. You should go to the doctor. But now that we've all said what we have to say, like legally speaking, what amount of chest pain would you go to the doctor over? Would you be concerned over? Thank you for saying a little is fine, because I think that's right, man. Yeah, one in chat if you're a man who's experienced chest pain and has not had a heart attack. I'm type 1. I'm typing a 1. It happens sometimes, man. Okay, the chat can't even load. There's so many 1s coming in. 6 out of 10, but if it has arm pain, then a 4 out of 10. That's what I feel like every time. The pain is not what I feel, but that's the process I go through. If my chest hurts a little bit, I go, okay, we're going like to threat level 1. And then if it goes to the arm, I'm going to give this like 15 minutes and then it's getting real. But if it goes away in 15 minutes, I'm like, well, I guess I just tanked the heart attack. Or you're like your jaw or something. I feel like I'm not going to say that I'm never going to get a heart attack because that's not realistic. In fact, it's actually the opposite of what I'm saying. Statistically speaking, I probably will have a heart attack. But I think I know when it's coming because my grandfather had 3 heart attacks. And I would always ask him like what it felt like. And he was like, I couldn't do anything. I just had to lay down on the floor until the ambulance came. It felt like there was an elephant on my chest. So anytime I get like a little chest pain, I'm like, does it feel like there's an elephant on my chest? No? All right, I guess we just keep going then. He did die of a heart attack. So, but he had lifestyle comorbidities. Let's put it that way. Did he drink and smoke? Yeah, pretty much like every day from like, I think age 13 until the day maybe like the morning he died. That classic rural Ontario living. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. We're all waiting for the other grandfather to die to hear the stories. Listen, that's a fucked up way to say that, but I know where you're coming from. And the stories are really good too, man. I'm keeping them under lock and key until that day comes, but there's some really fucking funny stories about my other grandpa. How old is he? He's fucking old, dude. He's like 84 or 85 or something. Like, he's up there. He outlived my grandma, which is like, men don't do that very often. Like, he's built different, man. My ancient king. He contains multitudes. He's you take the good with the bad. We haven't spoken in like, I don't know, 18 years, but like, I don't think he's like a monster. Apollo knows one of the stories. The story is really fucking funny. Can you just type in chat how funny the story was? Or at least like the image that I sent you? It's the funniest thing I've ever seen genuinely. And I didn't ask him to say that. Man. But anyway, I'll keep you posted. It is fucked up to say you can't wait. I'm not preying on his downfall. We have personal differences, but like, I wouldn't like wish lethality on him or anything like that. Like, it'll be sad, but then like once I get over the sadness, it'll be like really funny to share the story. Why do we have to wait for him to die to hear the story? Out of respect, man. Because the story reflects like insanely badly on him, but in a very, very hilarious way. So I gotta wait till he's gone. And like, I got my own differences with my grandfather, but I still like him more than I like most of you. Because at least, unlike you guys, he doesn't bother me. He's not blowing up my phone or anything, so I appreciate that. That's Jeremy Strong and Anna Paquin. Oh! That's huge, man. Jeremy Strong is a gimme. Like, He kind of, I don't want to say he looks generic because he's a handsome guy, but like, he's like generic one of one. It's like a one of one common. There's nobody else that has a head and a hairline like this. Like, that's Jeremy Strong. Paquin was kind of throwing me for a little bit of a loop though. Founded in Texas in 1936. This southern donut chain is known for hexagon-shaped donuts? Shipley's? I don't think I've ever heard of it. When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. That's the Black Parade. Welcome to the Black Parade, right? I don't know anything about MCR, but even I know that song because there's been like 15 straight years on Reddit where it's been the top comment in every single thread about all unrelated subjects. The number one comment in every single Reddit thread is when I was, and then like the next comment is a young boy, my father. Like, anyway, we get those, man. Celebrity mashup was kind of tough today. Shipley Donuts, Shipley, Olivia Munn. We're tearing Shipleys. Too real? It's gallows humor. You gotta laugh, right? It's Liberation Day. Did we get liberated? Did you get liberated? Did the whole world get liberated? Has the news come out yet? Has he woken up? Nobody knows, man. Nobody knows. Fuck you, dude. This is Vietnam. We take those. Italy? Close. This is the shoe that like the bad guy's henchwoman could wear from Kingsman 1. Remember, didn't she have like swords for legs or something like that? Swords for feet, at least. I can't remember. Maybe it was like a below-the-knee sword prosthetic. She did, people. Vietnam's got some good food, man. You ever notice that? It does look like MJ on his toes saying he. I'll go ahead and say it. No, librarian, cover your ears. Thailand's going to be close to the top of the list, but if we're talking Southeast Asian cuisine, Vietnam might be my favorite, at least with the stuff that's made it over to North America. I do sort of have to say, I feel like Thailand lost a little aura for me when I found out that it was like a government psyop to subsidize opening Thai restaurants around the rest of the world. This is a fallacy. I mean, I don't know what fallacy this is, and I should know, considering I played it yesterday. Like, maybe it's the appeal to motive. It's an appeal to motive is what it is. Oh my God, I accidentally got smarter. It did work though. Yeah, but now I thought I liked Thai food because it was tasty, but after reading about like the Thai Global Cuisine Initiative, I'm like, maybe I just like it because of like government policy, you know? So I'm like, honestly, Vietnam didn't have to play dirty like that. They let the pho open the door, and then the banh mi started to spread, and the bun bo hui, and now we're all getting Vietnamese pate sandwiches and lemongrass pork. And you know what's, I feel like I can't stake the claim that this is going to be like the next food trend. I would say we're overdue for a Vietnamese curry season. Every cuisine that has a curry has had the curry make it into the zeitgeist, I feel like, except Vietnam. The Vietnamese curry is a little bit different. It's a little sweeter with the coconut milk and the big fucking chunks of carrot and stuff like that, but I like it, man. Thai curry is good too. I'm not against it. We do need that Principal Skinner recipe. And 7 types of rice. I tried to make it at home, but we just don't have the seasonings.
I spent the next 3 years in a POW camp, forced to subsist on a thin stew made of fish, vegetables, prawns, coconut milk, and 4 kinds of rice. I came close to madness trying to find it here in the States, but they just can't get the spices right.
Simpsons kind of goated if like 1993 to 1998 is the vibe. October 11th, 2013. Can't really put myself back in that position. I'm trying to remember where I was. I was in my apartment, probably. Playing a lot of pre-Rebirth Isaac. Playing a lot of Vanilla Isaac. That's crazy. In Camtasia Studio. 23% drop-off is kind of crazy. Starring Sandra Bullock. Not The Blind Side, though. This might be Gravity. It's Gravity. I'll never let you. Remember when they played that song in Gravity? When she was hanging out with George Clooney? I'll never let you turn around. Back on your brother. I don't know if this movie sucked. Because I'll tell you my story of watching Gravity. I saw the trailer in the movie theater and I was like, this looks amazing. I saw it like that Christmas season. But like I was with Kate and my parents, we went to an OHL hockey game at the K-Rock Center, now known as the Leon's Center. And I think, to be honest with you, I might have had like 6 to 7 beers at the Frontenac's game. And it finished maybe 3, 4 p.m. Got home, ate dinner, and then Kate put on Gravity, and I just passed out. Like I remember the start of the movie, and I remember the very end of the movie. I don't remember much else about it, to be honest with you. It's actually called Slush Puppy Place now? No way. Really? Because the K-Rock Center had a little bit of aura. And then the Leon Center, I was like, these things happen. But the Slush Puppy Place is an absolute disaster. I can't be telling people I saw Bob Dylan in 2010 at the Slush Puppy Place, man. It's an instant aura loss. That's crazy. Slush Puppy Place. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It's too late for my generation, I think. You people who are younger than me, we have to stop all these movies from being made. Any movie with this poster, this archetypical poster, old guy, love hurts, shit like that, you need to never, ever watch it. You need to actively root for its demise. It's just not, like, this is not what we need from the medium, okay? Darjeeling Limited, also, you should root against that, but that's because it's the worst Wes Anderson movie that I've ever seen. But what Wes Anderson movie is worse than Darjeeling Limited? And you can't say Bottle Rocket because he was still figuring it out. All right, you're saying a lot of shit that I've not seen, so fuck you. One day I'll see The French Dispatch. Rushmore, shut the fuck up. You, Me, and Dupree is Kate Hudson. Owen Wilson, You, Me, and Dupree, Matt Dillon, There's Something About Mary, Cameron Diaz, Charlie's Angels, Full Throttle, Lucy Liu, old guy. What did I say? Owen Wilson, You, Me, and Dupree. Matt Dillon, Something About Mary, Cameron Diaz, Charlie's Angels, Full Throttle, Lucy Liu, old guy. Time? Short as possible, 2. Damn. I didn't know Lucy Liu was in Shanghai Noon. Are you on the spectrum? Yeah, I think I'm like a 3 out of 50 maybe. Like, I'm on it. I don't think it's like, there's like a spectrum of like radiation that you can detect with a Geiger counter. Like, I'm setting the Geiger counter off, but it's like you can still hang out. It's not gonna like give you a third arm or something like that. Yeah, we're all on it, man. Also, no, I'm just built different. I'm not good at masking. I just am what I am, and that's all I am. Popeye, 1983, Robin Williams, Shelley Long. Robert Altman directed it, I believe. It's Shelley Duvall. You're right, not Shelley Long. Stupid. Metacritic score of 75? Any chance this could be like Fable 2? PS3, PC, Xbox 360. This is like a From Software game, man. This looks like From Software textures and character design. Am I insane to say this is Dark Souls 2, even though I don't recall a panda being in there? No, it's an action RPG with a boat. And some fucking... I don't know what this is, man. Is this Darksiders 2? Directed by Triumph Studios. No, I was thinking of 38 Studios. I was going to say Kingdoms of Amalur. I'll be honest with you, I have absolutely no idea what this is. I just want to type Forsworn. Is that a real game? Nope. Sworn? Rondo of Swords? Overlord 2. There was never a world in which I was going to get that right. It's a great game. Come on, man. It is, though. Have you played it, or have you just seen the video essay? It is. We used to play video games and then decide whether or not they were good. Now we just wait for the video essay. And we say, oh, you haven't played it? It's amazing. Meanwhile, they don't know you haven't played it either. This Picture looks radioactive. I worry for the photographer. Does this feel like it's giving anybody else like a like I'm being sucked into the image or something? Like I feel like just looking at the image is like making my brain go a little staticky. Savory treat, sticky rice wrapped in banana leaves and filled with seasoned pork. Okay, I see palm sugar. Palm always makes me think that it's from Indonesia. It's northwest of Indonesia. Borders it to the northeast and the south. Okay, so it's Cambodia. Naman Sam Trok. Higher percentage of people that haven't left their state. I feel like it's Pennsylvania. People in Pennsylvania love Pennsylvania. What I've been told by Americans is that most Floridians were not born in Florida. They moved to Florida to escape like a DUI from another state. And then if they get a DUI in Florida, they either move to Hawaii or the U.S. Virgin Islands. Somebody tell me if this is verifiably, is it a good heuristic or an unreliable heuristic? Or Alaska, that's true, okay. So I think a higher percentage of Pennsylvanians born and raised. I can't get used to the website, man. Yeah, I'm gonna know this. No, that's so like, it sounds like Hey Mama by the Black Eyed Peas. But I don't think that came out in 2002. It might have. Never mind. Be like, can't you just hear them going like, hey, hey. It sounds like Switch by Will Smith, but that's like 05, 06. I gotta hear the next line, I'm sorry. Jason? I need more. No, that's so... No, it's like Lose My Breath. Lose my breath. Gonna home, gonna lose my breath. Time at home, gonna lose my breath. Hey mama, gonna wanna shake the thing. You wanna Sean Paul? I gotta hit that. Yeah. I knew we'd get there. Oh, it turned me on. You gotta shake the thing. You gotta turn me on. Hit it on till the early morning. It just turned me on. I better shake that thing, Miss Anamana, something like that, right? Yeah. This was everywhere, man. They're going for it too. Unironically, a banger is a little bit Adrian Brody coded, yeah. What do you mean by that? So when I do it, it's like Adrian Brody coded. 2002, oof. This is not oof. He's a member of the dance hall / reggaeton genre. It's oof when Adrian Brody did it, but it's also fucking funny when Adrian Brody did it. But there's no oof for Sean Paul. I don't know, there might be, but like it's not, I don't think he was like culturally appropriating the genre. I think he was molded by it, man. As far as I know. He is Jamaican. Really? When I was in Jamaica, they didn't say shit about Sean Paul. They talked about Bob Marley the whole time. Are they not fucking with Sean Paul in Jamaica? Do they consider him like is he a traitor or something? He's from Kingston? Well, so am I, but you guys say I'm not allowed to say Bomba Clot. You are allowed? You don't, you're Indonesian, man. You can't give me the Bomba Clot pass. I need someone from Jamaica to do it, but I don't think they will, because like I keep talking smack about when I was in Jamaica. But like the whole country probably wasn't like the bus tour that I was on. And the park that I went to where you can walk up a waterfall with the help of a guide. Big ups to what was the place called? Dunn's River Falls. Big ups to the Dunn's River Falls tour guides for lifting North American cruise passengers up the fucking slippery rocks all day. That's a hard job, man. People get off the boat after eating and drinking for like 4 to 10 days straight, and they're like, you know what I want to do? Have somebody hold my hand and climb up a slippery waterfall. They're doing some serious fucking legwork, man. I also loved how the beach at Dunn's River Falls said, please do not get on any unauthorized jet skis. I just imagining how many American tourists had been lost to like just hopping on the first jet ski that pulled up and said, get on. I don't want to, it's a scary story, man. But they had the, I'm assuming they put the sign up for a reason. I would not hop on the jet ski. I wouldn't hop on the jet ski if I was driving, man. My family did exactly that in Mexico. Dude, one time we were in Mexico, we went to like an all-inclusive beach retreat. So everyone was hammered. And on the boat ride to the beach, they were like, put your life jacket on. Here's where the emergency exits are. Here's where the lifeboats are, blah, blah, blah. On the drive back, everyone was sloshed. They were letting the kids drive the fucking boat. Kate and I were freaking out. They were having like 5, 6-year-olds like take turns steering the boat with like 300 adults on it. I mean, they were like far away from the shore, which is good, but I was like, these kids don't know where they're going, man. What are they going to hit? Well, I think it'd take us like out to sea or something, man. Have you seen Triangle of Sadness? And on the way there, they played like Mexican music. On the way back, they played your least favorite uncle's classic rock, Never Dies playlist. And I was crashing the fuck out, man. 6-year-old driving the boat, 150 boomers singing like Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi. No, man, this isn't how I go. We built this city. I don't know what we're going to do, man. Am I just going to play Nubby? Nubby's good, don't get me wrong. Let me see what else came out on Steam recently. If there's one interesting game on Steam and then a little Nubby to close it out, that would be like a dream come true for me. Yeah, I watched some individuals, including Ricky, play Schedule 1. I watched Chibley play a little Schedule 1. I get it, but I don't think it's for me at all. I don't think I possess the necessary neurological structure to derive enjoyment out of it. Why not? When I was watching people play it, I was entertained, but I said I would be bored playing it myself. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not really into those like third-person pseudo simulator games, like the Drug Dealer Simulator, Car Mechanic Simulator. The closest I got, Landlord Super. I was having a great time with Landlord Super, but otherwise, I find myself getting kind of bored when I play those. Just being on the hedonic treadmill of like, you know, I need to get another $10,000 so I can improve the quality of what I'm selling and then sell it. And now I need $10,000 to improve the quality of it and then sell it more. Like, I get why people enjoy it, and I enjoy watching it sometimes, but when I play it, I'm like, it's not for me. We're going to need at least 10,000 though. There was this, I don't know if this game's too intense for stream, man. Sultan's game. The Sultan commands a cruel game. Each week, 1 of 4 cards must be drawn. The carnality card demands indulgence in carnal pleasures. Extravagance compels lavish spending. Conquer forces, dangerous expeditions, and bloodshed calls for a human sacrifice. I think it's like Cultist Simulator. These reviews piss me off. Decent game. Worth the price? No. Pay $5 to $7 when possible. Hey, man, how about you go fuck yourself? Sorry, that is way too far. At least they gave it a thumbs up. They gave it a thumbs up and said, it's good, but it's too expensive. I can respect that. No, you got me all twisted up. The thing is, because people don't want to... You don't understand that we're in a fucking economical Ouroboros, man. Like, the devs have got to eat too, man. Like, if we're not paying what t-shirts cost, right? If we were paying what t-shirts, the actual cost of a t-shirt, if that was translated into a monetary amount, we'd be paying like $69 a t-shirt, okay? The same thing with video games. Everybody wants a healthy, diverse indie game ecosystem, but nobody wants to pay $30 for a game that they could play for 50 hours because they got Terraria for $4.99 when they were in middle school and they played it for 5,000 hours. So nothing can possibly match the time value of money that they got. They're always chasing the dragon, man. People can value their time however they want. Yeah, obviously, this is a nothing statement, not to be rude or whatever. Like, I don't think you need to defend their position. You need to assault their position because it's anti-art. This is my favorite song. Damn, dude. This is the song that plays when they go to Mexico in Sicario. When Jim Office touches down in Yemen after saying he can't go there, there's always like a snake comes out or something like that at the airport. He's like, whoa, we're a long way from Langley, Jim Office. Now waterboard that guy. Blunderbuss Live, as we begin to play Sultan's game, says there is some nudity on cards, but they can be swapped out. So I'm not anti-nudity. I don't want to sound like a pervert. I'm not going to say I'm pro-nudity. I'm nudity neutral, which is to say that, like, in media, when I see nudity, I don't really care. And to be honest, in real life, when I see nudity, I also don't really care. Not really anything that I haven't seen in the mirror before myself. But online, you got to be a little bit more careful about this stuff because of content ID matching and stuff like that. Streamer support, is that what I want to click on? Some scenes have been modified to ensure streamers from all regions can broadcast game content smoothly. That sounds like something I'm interested in. I would like to turn that on, please. I felt that way until I saw Toronto Nude Men Parade last June. What do you mean when you type it like that? It didn't traumatize me, but it was definitely 20 old guys' dick and balls. Who cares? You were at the parade. Was it really called Toronto Old Guys Naked? Like, it sounds like you should have known what you were getting into when you went there. Like, what do you mean? Also, who cares, man? I was one of them. Who cares? They're just old, man. I don't know what you want me. You're gonna have an old dick and balls one day too, probably. They were just chilling? All right. I mean, I don't know. I'm just being real with you. I don't think it would bother me, man. I get way more weirded out when I'm like driving and there's like roadkill on the road. Like that sends like a macabre shiver down my spine. But seeing like a happy and healthy individual with it just hanging out doesn't bother me in the slightest, man. Okay, play the game. Yeah. So what is Sultan's game? It's a board/card game that I've been told is a little bit like a cultist simulator, where you're forced to balance resources, play cards, and make uncomfortable decisions that can have long-lasting ramifications. It's sold 100,000 copies despite being like a little bit interminable, which I think is a great sign, and then also has like very positive reviews on Steam. Well, a lot of data points pointing in a direction that is like, let's at least give it a try. That's male nudity, it's okay. There are two parts to every Sultan card. Carnality refers to the physical pleasures, and silver, its color, its tier, refers to the tier of the object of pleasure. Damn, we got some silver sex, man. I think that's a pretty good top deck. When you top deck the silver sex, now obviously you got like a gold in there, but still. Though all things are but ants at your feet, O great Sultan, they are unequal in their insignificance. Hold up, is writing, is this fire? Some would always be a little bit nobler, and you have the right to dictate your subjects' worth. If your majesty so commands, it would delight me to explain the game to you, but of course you're the Sultan. Supreme, this is an appeal to flattery. I've inoculated myself against your rhetorical techniques yesterday. That being said, yes, give me the tutorial. You will love this game once you play it. You won't last 2 minutes. Talk about the cards. The Sultan's game has 4 types of cards. They represent challenges you must complete after drawing them. There are tiers: gold, silver, bronze, and stone. Okay. Now, resolving a Sultan card typically demands a character or an item of matching caliber. Bronze for bronze, silver for silver, but to make the game more amenable, should you wield a higher tier piece, it can serve to settle a lesser card. For example, you could sacrifice a silver to satisfy a bronze. Okay. There's carnality. To lie with women, with men, any other arrangement your imagination conjures. Any such unions is suffice to fulfill the carnality's demand. But there's a wrinkle. The same companion can't be reused to resolve multiple carnality cards, at least not without elevating their station or employing more inventive methods. Bloodshed needs you to slay a person of an appropriate tier. Military victories and difficult adventures can all qualify as conquests. Extravagance calls for extravagant spending. Construct opulent estates, host revels of unparalleled splendor, or indulge in pursuits that are gloriously impractical. Okay, I see. Her smile hints at hidden dangers, making her all the more alluring. The game has no time limits. I want you? What the hell? I was just clicking on buttons, man. The Sultan drew a card of silver carnality, meaning he must engage in carnality with someone of a silver tier, or he could choose to whip, molest, or torture them, as long as it brings him physical pleasure. Once his desire was fulfilled, so did the requirement of the carnality card. Let's just go with the carnal engagement and not worry about all that other stuff right now. The Sultan revealed the silver card. Until this moment, the courtiers thought it was a joke. They all wore cautious smiles and tried not to spoil his mood or fall victim to the game. The Sultan, however, scanned their faces with amusement. He was the great Sultan who could laugh off everything in the world except for the game. The game was something he took seriously. The Sultan chose the seductive consort as the target of carnality. Overwhelmed by sudden public favor, the woman forgot something important. The Sultan loves to watch women fight for him. He does not like being used as a trophy for boasting. She swaggered to the Sultan's seat. I wouldn't worry about this. All this stuff. The next moment on the golden throne, the woman struggling in panic as if a disobedient ram being throttled. Does throttled mean something different than I think it might? At last, peace. She quells. Her empty eyes reflected courtiers' figures that gradually blurred, faded, perhaps because the court was dismissed, or perhaps because her life had ended. Holy cow, ear users, I apologize. Give me a second here. I have awoken. Okay, I've taken the volume down a little bit. A poet kept by a nearby clan has been writing satirical poems about you lately, annoying and persistent like a fly. This is what I've been asking for, man. Verbal sparring. Our charisma and sociability is too high to lose. You're furious and curse him. Your name is accompanied by laughter for a long time. Influence -1. Man, fuck you. You can't have shit in the Sultanate. Carnality at home? You showed your wife the carnality card. You would have thought it awkward to hug your wife. We were doing a where's my hug, bro? You might even be worried that you collapsed from fear, but in fact the two of you were quite madness that night, as if the love between husband and wife, which had been dormant for a long time, was rekindled. She let go of her reserve and praised your bravery loudly so much the next day these words were sung in the streets and even in the palace. Maybe we don't need the tactics, man. The Sultan's cards have the magic power to restore people's virility, and the most powerful aphrodisiac is death hanging over you. After braving the Sultan's detailed inquiries, yada yada yada, courtiers love me. Who could have imagined the court would fall so low, all because of you? Nawful, your political enemy, glares at you before raking his eyes over the courtiers. Here he goes again. He kneels before the Sultan, back rigid, voice ringing with conviction. Your Majesty, this farce has gone on long enough. I beseech you, strip Arzu of the power you've bestowed. No one should be spared punishment for murder or adultery. I didn't do anything wrong! I haven't done anything wrong yet. All I did was I had relations with my own spouse, and I was putting that shit down. They were singing my praises in the streets the next day. And he hates me, man. I didn't do anything. This is not illegal. Who can stop me from entertaining you? You immediately kneel on the ground, accusing Nawful of ambitious intent. It irritates Nawful, who uses his language talent insidiously, rebuking you, jesting fool, recounting an entire life list of mockery as you agilely deflect blows, wondering why his mind recalls old slights. So basically, I owned him, and he says, don't assume this is over. Okay, fair enough. And I busted that shit down crazy style. Suddenly, the Sultan casts you a curious look. Verily so. A wise monarch should not commit such acts, but neither should a wise monarch abandon his own delights. In which case, why don't you play in my stead? You, my loyal subject. I command you to play this game for me. This Sultan's game. He bursts into laughter as you stand there dumbfounded. That was our tutorial. I'm willing to listen. It seems interesting. I'm not 100% sure it's a fit for streaming. Let's give it a try and see. Because what I read in the description of it is, in the tutorial, it kind of looks like they give you a card and you just fill the spaces with the most obvious ones. And you might be like, why am I even playing this? But a lot of the reviews were like, there's creative ways to like solve the encounters that aren't as straightforward as what you might think like the first time that you play it. So just give it a little bit of time, okay? Just some things you crack into them immediately and you're like, this is great, like Nubby, and some things they take a little bit more work, okay? Bring the croc. Headless dragons. Huh? The Sultan is like the sun, projecting vast distorted shadows named power when away from the court. Combine 3 pieces of intelligence of the same quality to create 1 piece of higher quality intelligence. Combine convictions of the same quality to create 1 upgraded conviction. Blueprint of Revolution and Regicide plot can synthesize a higher tier conviction of resolution. Any testaments of oath under gold tier with 2 convictions of rebellion in the same tier can synthesize a higher tier conviction of rebellion. Huh? Okay, I think I'm gonna slash marker. This is Sultan's game. I'm gonna give my honest appraisal. Seems like a lot of fun and very interesting, very creative. Interesting ways to solve the encounters. Maybe not a great fit for stream. Small text, lots of reading, complicated. But it definitely seems very interesting. Very interesting for sure. Unreal Gaming? Listen, not everybody can be Chibli at this. It kind of blew me away when Chibli said the game had become his Binding of Isaac, and by that he meant people in the comments of his YouTube videos make fun of him for being bad, but then when he posts one like 5 minutes late, they're like, oh, I didn't eat breakfast until the Nubby video went live today. I'm just being honest with you, I didn't know they were making people like that anymore. I thought that was mostly like individuals who are now like between the age of like 18 and 28. I thought there was like a 1 decade period where they were making individuals with that kind of demeanor, but apparently it's kind of evergreen. I remember coming back from school and watching Chib play Nubby. Life was so simple back then, man. Always got to remember that whenever someone says life was so simple back then, you have to remember that it was simple because someone else was like doing all the important shit for you. Your mom was like making sure you were ready for school every day, like cooking all your meals and making sure the mortgage got paid and stuff like that. You're just saying we need butlers? But yeah, but there's a problem. Oh, fuck you, man. There's a problem with it because even the butlers need butlers. We owe our solitude to other people? Damn, that's kind of deep, man. That's a certified Clive quote. I would butler for the butler? You know, some of the realest shit that's ever been said in real life, but also on this website, is it's easier to do other people's chores. And it's 100% true. If I leave like a dirty dish on the counter, I don't notice it. Like I created it. I'm like, I'll get to it at some point. But if my wife leaves a dirty dish on the counter, I like immediately grab it, rinse it out, and either like put it in the dishwasher or at least consolidate it in the sink. Like if someone else in your house has some tidying up to do. It feels so much easier to tidy up someone else's stuff than your own. I don't know what it is. Update on the Toronto Nude Men Parade. I went to Google what their group name was actually called, and the first result was Fox News, so never mind, I fuck with them now. I can understand that. So here's the thing. So this was a callback to something earlier in the stream where I was saying I'm not bothered by nudity, and then someone said they went to the Toronto Nude Men Parade and they saw a lot of old dicks and balls, and they said they weren't traumatized, but they were talking about how it bothered them. So I consider that to be kind of traumatic, I suppose. How dare you? So I sussed you, and that's not necessarily fair to you, but when you said Toronto Nude Men Parade, I honestly thought it was like a homophobic way to describe the Pride Parade. I thought you were like dog whistling some homophobia, which is why I sussed you. But now finding out that it may actually have been called the Toronto Nude Men Parade, it is a little crazy to me because it is a little insane to go to something called that and then be, I would say, like offended that there's nude men there, but at least, like, it seems like you're on the level, at least. What president had the best dick game? Who's one of those ones that's like a lifelong bachelor who always lived with, like, his childhood best friend? Buchanan? Damn, it sucks that Buchanan was, like, the worst president, right? Because I didn't know that James Buchanan may have been the first gay president. But you can't be like, yes, James, yes, because he basically placated the South until they felt emboldened enough to secede. That's fucked up, man. Because he might have been going full, like, nuts to ass, as you guys like to say. LBJ had a big one? Well, Source himself, for one. Secondly, everybody knows the bigger your dick, the worse you are at fucking, because you don't have to try as hard, maybe. So, honestly, he probably sucked ass at slanging his meat, if I had to guess. Not true, I'm small and I barely try. Well, there's gotta be a size where you're just like, what's the point? You know, you can't put lipstick on a pig. But like, all the sizes in the middle, you can have an impact, I'm sure. Okay, 1 second. Pregnancy test this year. First peg pop, Nubby gives birth to a copy of himself. Okay, that's important for a fella like me. Yeah, I think there's like, the best dick size is probably like one where you don't feel comfortable on small dick problems or big dick problems. Although in my head, it does feel like probably the best dick size is feeling slightly welcome on big dick problems. Not that I would know, but like, I think that's a middle ground fallacy, right? The idea that, like, I would rather not be short or tall. I would rather be, like, middle height. I'd rather be, like, slightly tall, I think. Because you could always just, like, crouch if someone was like, you're a little bit too tall. You know, it gives you options is what I'm trying to say. Maybe 6'1" is, like, the ideal height. I'm not 6'1", by the way. I occasionally get called 6 foot by guys who are 5'8". Because I'm 5'10". 6'4", I think, is really where you start to get, like, tall. 6 foot isn't great because no one believes you. I do think, well, it depends on the situation. Well, this is, I was gonna say it's misogynist. It's not really, but you might take it that way. I was gonna say if you're hanging out with dudes, if I was 6 foot even and I was hanging out with dudes, I would say that I was 5'10". Because then the other dudes who are shorter than you would have to, like, nut up and be like, you're not 5'10", I'm 5'10", and then they bust out the measuring tape and you go, like, you'll be like, oh, my mistake, I'm actually 6 foot tall, but it turns out you're 5'7.5". So you own them and gain, like, social favor, like, as a result of that. I would fuck with people if I was tall, yeah. I'll take your word on that one. I'll pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. You see the post that was like, that dude must have invented Klarna? His dream finally became a reality. Klarna's the worst word I've ever had to utter. I think this may honestly be like the first few times I've ever said the word out loud. I do think when expensive stuff was like, you can do buy now, pay later, I was like, that makes sense to me. maybe that's a good thing. Seeing it applied to DoorDash did break my spirit a little bit, but they will not turn me against my fellow man. It does seem insane to me that you could be like, I want a burrito badly right now, but I don't want to pay for it until like November. Maybe this is naive of me, but some of the screenshots I've seen of Klarna are like, you could buy this pizza right now, eat the pizza, and pay for it in 6 months, or pay for it like in installments, but it was like 0% financing, which is actually, you'd be stupid to pay for your food now. Buy a $20 lunch, put the $20 from lunch into a CD, and then before you know it, you got $20.72 by the time you got to play Klarna, and all of a sudden you just made 72 cents off the top. I do it constantly to raise my credit score. That's fucking sick, actually. I didn't even think about that. That's bad. You know what people don't say anymore? Chibli, I don't know if they ever said this in New Zealand, but in North America, people used to really say protect this house a lot. It's been maybe like a decade since I heard anybody say in earnest, protect this house. They did? Yeah, man. Huge. At like sporting events and stuff like that. They also used to say this shit. They used to go, here, let's test it. Let's test to see if you remember. Left side. See that? That's magic, man. Strong side, strong side. That's what I'm talking about. They say North America doesn't have culture. What about left side, strong side, man? What about some OHIO type shit? That one kind of pisses me off, but you know, you gotta have something. What about Terry Tate, office linebacker? Oh, we've got old museums and paintings and stuff like that. Okay, well, we got Terry Tate, office linebacker. How rare is it to have a perfect March Madness bracket? Because I've successfully had a perfect bracket for, how old am I? 36 years running. There's, like, I'm a probability believer, I'm a math believer, but there's some things that just don't pass the smell test. You know where they say some shit that's like, there's so many possible permutations of positions on a chessboard, like there's more of those than there are like atoms in the universe? That shit doesn't fucking fly. You must think that we're stupid. You must think we're dumb. There's no way. The universe is humongous and it's full of atoms. And a chessboard is like, I don't even know, man. It's like 32 pieces on a 64-piece board. Yeah, like it's the same one. Every time you shuffle a deck of cards, it's a never-before-seen configuration of that deck of cards. No, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. People have been playing cards for years, man. It just doesn't make any sense. I swear I've seen the first exact same hand twice in a row in Balatro. That's what I'm saying, man! We used to play euchre and crazy eights like every single lunch hour because we were so freaking cool, and Malf will vouch for that. There's no way I haven't started with like the same euchre hand at least 2 times in a row, man. That's not a deck, that's a hand? Okay, so like multiply it by 8 or whatever, man. It just... They literally think we're dumb. If they could sell you on that, they could sell you on anything. There's probably like 25,000 configurations of a deck of cards. There's a lot of, like, if it was that rare to like have a configuration like that on a deck of cards, doing Magic would be impossible, and it's not, so that doesn't really make sense to me to begin with. Magicians would always be like, is this your card? Ooh, they would be wincing. They would be like, the odds are really bad. The odds are like 1 in 17 googillion. Oh, it is? Oh, what are the odds? What if you just made a chain of E's, man? E. Why don't magicians win every poker tournament then? That's a trick question. They won't let them deal. If the magician was allowed to deal themselves, it'd be over. take those, man. We take those. What the heck is 1.2 und? I gotta see what happens if we get to over 9.9 und, okay? It's a beautiful sound. This is what it's like to live next to a construction site. This is what it sounds like in a streamer's head when they tell the story about their next door neighbor using a lawnmower at 11 a.m. on a Saturday. It is going Andy Bernard mode. I just gotta see what happens at 9.9, okay? POV, you're watching a CRT television at volume 7? That's damn true, man. It'll go to 10, okay. Alright, if you say it'll go to 10, I trust you. You think Nubbies is based on a true story? Isn't it based on Severance? I thought this was like working in quantified macro data or whatever. Favorite Howard Stern guest? I don't know. Can I get a list of all the Howard Stern guests who have rode the Sybian on the show? Okay, /. Hillary Clinton did not ride the Sybian when she went on Howard Stern, okay? She was like, wah, 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 talking about politics or something. Not the reason I listen to the show. Hop on the Sybian or get the fuck off the air, lady. Whoever you are. Kathy Bates did not get on the Sybian. You're thinking of About Schmidt. That was a hot tub. It was a jacuzzi. George Takei? I don't know if they make a Sybian for men. It's one of the many reasons it's difficult to be a man in today's society. Octomom? Now, that I do believe maybe I'm wrong about this. I wouldn't know, to be honest, but it passes the smell test for me that Octomom rode the Sybian on the Howard Stern show. I believe that. She was doing anything when she had her moment in the sun. The Sybian creator made a Sybian for men. It's called the Venus. It's like a car battery that sucks you off. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky. I see children playing. Say, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What does he say? In today's world, Octomom would have a cryptocurrency. Someone said Hassan is beefing with Hawk Tua, which is a real problem for me because that's like my two goats right there. Hawk Tua did something wrong, but the only people who lost out were stupider than her. She shouldn't have done that. But like, back off. Back off. Back off my goat. Old NL would have taken pants. Thank you for reminding me I have to go to the tailor's later today. I got 2 pairs of pants that blew out the crotch. I gotta swing by the dry cleaner and have them repaired. It's not a joke. Kate'll tell you it's not a joke. I ripped the crotch out of my jeans like, well, not my khakis, let's be honest. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Like a week into being away, I had to wear shorts for the rest of the time. Wasn't that bad until I got off the airplane at Vancouver International Airport. And I was like, damn, it's still cold here. You a long strider? No, I think it's a couple of things, and this is not meant to be even the slightest bit braggadocious. I think that I am a little thicker in the thighs and the ass than the average dude. I'm built that way, and also the bike contributes to it. But also, I think the thing that happens a lot is, like, even after losing weight, when I walk, my thighs rub together a little bit. I don't have, as they call it on Reddit, dat gap. So I think that over time, that leads to the weakening of the fabric in the crotch region, which leads it to eventually being torn. So I think that I've diagnosed, I think, the reason that I don't go through pants more frequently than the average person, because after I got older, I was like, damn, I can't be buying new pants every time they break. I just got to take it to the tailor and they put like a patch on it for $15 or something. Size the waist up one? It doesn't work like that, man. Because I'm already, now I guess maybe I am being a little bit braggadocious about this one, because my belt's already on the last fucking peg, man. So if I go one size up in the pants, I gotta buy a fucking new belt. It just doesn't work like that. I'm becoming like one of those like Deacon Blues type motherfuckers, slowly but surely, because it doesn't come naturally to me. I'm like starting to crawl like a viper through these suburban streets. And by that, I mean, I love going to cash-based businesses and engaging in like-minded commerce with individuals who also would prefer to receive cash as opposed to a digital transaction. I like when the taxi driver says, do you have cash? I like when I go to the tailor and he says, you know, that'll be like $110 or it'll be like $86 if you pay in cash. It's not, I don't work for the Canada Revenue Agency. It's not my, as far as I know, it's offensive for me to imply that they're not paying their taxes. I'm using an instrument of legal tender, a bearer bill, that it is perfectly acceptable in a transaction like that. I'm not doing anything wrong to pay with cash. Gary Gensler, I do have a growing stack of coins. But I do also, anytime I go to the Chinese bakery, I try to throw a couple toonies into the like ceramic pot that they have at the cash register. So it's like a balance, you know? The same way your cells like spit out waste products. Every time you do a cash transaction where you break a bill, you get some waste, some coins. Now, if you get enough coins, maybe sometimes you take your kid to the Japanese supermarket and they got a gotcha machine right there. That allows you to vent some of the heat and get some plastic garbage that she's like really attached to, and now you got to babysit for like 6 months. Or you go to a bakery, you buy maybe like 2 spicy Jamaican beef patties and throw 2 toonies into the tip jar, man. Play Schedule 1. Aren't you the dude who asked me about Hillary Clinton on the Sybian? Are you also behind the Gavin Newsom official troll account? I did like the Switch 2 Direct though. I thought they announced some cool stuff. The average Nintendo Direct doesn't hold much interest for me because there's usually like one game that gets announced or elaborated upon that there's any likelihood I'll actually play. But this one, there was a whole console, man. And then also like maybe 2 to 3 games. I was hoping for a new Animal Crossing. I know it hasn't been that long since New Horizons. That was kind of like I'm in an Animal Crossing sort of mood lately. That was my dream, and that didn't happen, but that's okay. New Horizons had no content. Oh, content! It's life, man! You wake up, you clean up, you eat some tasty looking food, take a selfie, go fishing, look at the stars, eat some fruit, go to bed. It's life. Life is what you make it, man. You're worried way too much about content and not enough about content. It's always more, you know? I like it though. It might be like the one cozy game that I actually kind of vibe with. Most of the time I find it kind of like a scam. Like I'll defend to the death the idea that Stardew Valley, not a cozy game. Stardew Valley is one of the most stressful games I've ever played. You have shit to do every day, but you only get like 15 seconds to do it before the day is over. You can say what you want about Animal Crossing, but like at least if you're like, I want to do a lot today, Animal Crossing is like, you can spend as much time as you want on your island, man. It's your island. Stardew Valley's like, pick and choose, motherfucker. Are you going to the Tulip Festival or are you harvesting your beets on the optimum beet harvesting day? Like it's too much for me. Turnips are only stressful if you're a lazy bum. That's appeal to ridicule. That's not you're criticizing the character of the individual instead of rebutting their argument. Nice try, buddy. 2 days ago, that might have worked on me. I might have been like, you're spitting on that one, but not today. I can't believe, I think I'll get -2s and I'll get +2s in my day-to-day. I don't think I've ever had a more unanimous swell of -2s than when I said soda is underpriced at restaurants. Can you explain it? Yes. Soda with free refills is underpriced because it's worth more to me than $3.50. I know, but here's the thing. People go like, yeah, but there's only 3 cents worth of syrup in it. Yeah, but I would pay $8 for a soda with free refills. So it's underpriced, man. It doesn't matter. I think it's crazy that like, if a beer was $8 USD, if you live in America, you would be like, that's a fair price. But a soda being $3.50, people are in chat like, it's expensive. They should be the same. A beer and a soda should be within 10% of each other. Because the soda's better, man. And it doesn't come with a debuff. It actually comes with a mild buff because of the caffeine. Soda's almost free to produce. You need to take the other half of your economics course, man. Fuck you! It's not just what it costs to make, man. It's what it costs to fucking buy it out from the guy next to you, because he's gonna outbid you because soda's fucking amazingly delicious. Like a beer costs like $1.75 to make like 100 liters of it, but people are like, yeah, sure, I'll pay like $3 a beer at the beer store for it. But all of a sudden, if a soda has the audacity to be like more than 15 cents a can, people are like, there's only 3 cents of syrup in it. Doesn't make any damn sense, man. I think you're just addicted to soda. I'm not addicted to soda. I'm taking advantage of an underpriced good. I'm arbing soda right now. Every time I go to a restaurant, even if I don't want a soda, I'm like, I gotta order it because one day it's gonna be arbed out, and this is gonna cost the same as a mocktail because it is a mocktail. It's just economically sensible to get a free refill soda every time you go to a restaurant. It is not a mocktail. It's a mocktail, man! It's a cola-flavored mocktail that comes in a can. Mocktails are overpriced? Absolutely. I'm short mocktails and long Coke Zero. And I got a long time horizon. I don't care how long it takes. This is bait? It's not bait. I hope they don't raise the price of soda, but they could raise it a little bit and I would still keep drinking that garbage for sure. Where are you going that you assume they have free refills? I would say 85% of restaurants in North America, full stop. Any restaurant that serves you in a plastic cup is giving you free refills 100%. If they bring you a can, I only get one, because you can't be asking for seconds at like Ramen Dombo, but when the can comes out, you're cooked. And then it's like fucking like lukewarm Coke Zero, or they got it like wrapped in a paper towel or something. I know you're Gavin Newsom, man. You can't fucking fool me. You're Gavin Newsom official. You type exactly like Gavin Newsom official. You bring up the same type of shit that Gavin Newsom official brought up. But can we say that one of the legacies of the like 2 days that Gavin Newsom official was in chat, he did get me to play the Bazaar. He was spitting with that one. What a shot. I'm in love with the shape of you. Me when I'm at the job interview and they ask me why I want to work at the Alphabet Factory, Chibli, it's like my favorite Ed Sheeran song. I'm in love with the shape of you. Although I can't remember if we figured out. U is pretty late in the alphabet. Is this like a senior role that I'd be interviewing for? Or is U like it's a fairly easy letter to make? So maybe that would be like an entry job? You would be above the S workers? Please don't say that. No! Isn't G the hardest letter to make? I think S and G are the hardest letters to make. And I think if you think Q is the hardest letter to make, you're not a free thinker. Because I think Q is a very easy letter to make. It's just a circle and a line. R is confusing. E is a lot of lines, so I'll give you that. Lowercase. I don't think K is that hard. It's just a line plus a V. I'm starting to think, to be honest with you, you guys don't know shit about the alphabet. Because like some of the letters you're suggesting are trivial to compose. Ampersand is not a letter, man. That's a symbol. Fuck you. Ampersand that's a relational symbol. It's conditional. It used to be? Okay, well fucking we used to eat guts and shit too. We don't do that anymore. Every letter's kind of hard at first. That is true. Like, my daughter, Kate will tell you that this is a real story. My daughter crashed out right before vacation, and you might say, why? She couldn't draw an S. She would like try to, the human mind is a very interesting thing, man. It's like, she'll draw an S and then like throw the pen and be like, I can't draw an S. And I'll be like, here, let's work together on it. And we'll do like a little lesson. And I'll be like, it's kind of like making an 8, but then you just stop drawing it like 2/3 of the way through. You got it? And she's like, yeah, I got it. And then she draws the S exactly the same decrepit way that she drew it before the masterful teaching episode that I imparted upon her. And then she throws the pen across the table again. Go on The Amazing Race. I'm, probably not, but like, you ever see that video of the lady on The Amazing Race who is scared of heights, and all she has to do to not get eliminated is go down that huge water slide, but she can't bring herself to do it?
To go down a slide. Really? $1 million. Let me walk you through the slide. Yes, you can.
I can't do it.
Yes, you can.
Why? He's gonna hate me. I just don't want to do it. He's gonna hate me.
I've gone through multiple phases of how to feel about that. Having been to a water park with a big water slide not but a week and a half ago, I'd be going down that thing too sweet. I'm a little scared of heights, but all you gotta do is nut up and get on the water slide. I don't know what to tell you, man. You could win $1 million. You gotta tank that. Yeah, you just fucking cross your shit, exactly. Also, you can push up against the walls to slow yourself down, man. I was a lifeguard at a water park. It's way more dangerous than the ride parks. I mean, that's 100%. Because like when you're bolted in and like harnessed and like they had engineers consult on the construction of the track and like millions of people ride, like almost nothing can go wrong on a roller coaster. Lots of stuff can go wrong on a water slide, man. You could go down all fucked up, like hit your head on the side, lose consciousness. Like you're beholden to physics in the same way you are on a roller coaster, but a roller coaster also has like guides and stuff like that. I think you're right, that's an appeal to fear. You're not wrong. Kind of cooked me with that one. A roller coaster is like an airplane and a water slide is like a car. Because a water slide, to me, and it's irrational, but a water slide feels so much less dangerous than a roller coaster, which is just another example of like the human brain being stupid. But it's like the same way, like when I'm driving to the airport, I'm like, this is chill. When I'm on the airplane and it bumps a little bit, I'm like, we're all gonna die. I'm not an aviator. Can I push back a little bit though on something? People always say like, takeoff and landing are the most dangerous parts of flying. I think it's just, I played a little Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think it's just landing. I feel like it's really hard to fuck up the takeoff part. Because you're starting from 0, and like all you gotta do is like, you go full throttle, and then at like X knots, you just pull back on the stick a little bit. Like I think it's almost impossible to screw it up. The landing seems like a big problem. I could definitely take off an airplane. Landing it, I give myself like a 75% chance. It also seems like every time something happens on takeoff, it's like another plane's fault. So like, it's not really my problem. Like they should have kept the EasyJet off the runway or whatever. Like that's ATC, man. I bought a Peloton, did a 20-minute ride with the shoes on. Almost shit myself because I didn't have my phone and didn't know how to get the shoes unlocked from the pedals. I wouldn't sweat it, big dog. That's honestly like kind of a rite of passage with using clip-in shoes on a bike. What I would say, if you're watching this and at some point this experience happens to you in the future, I would just, and I'm not admonishing you for this, I would not start the ride until you figured out how to get your shoes out. Like, oh jeez. Like try to unclip once. Just to, wow! Ow! That's huge. Try to unclip once just so that you know like how to do it. But yeah, after a while you just get used to it, but at first it's a very foreign feeling. It kind of feels like your ankle's gonna snap off. You can also just take the shoes off, but yeah, no, you definitely don't want to fall off the bike, because if you fall off the bike, your feet will both snap in half. I would not recommend that. No, 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 no. Wrong, wrong, wrong. No, 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 no! And the dummy fits between the gaps too well, man! The tiny ass dummy fit between the fucking gaps, man! Did you see that? He shot like, how could you fit between that space? Oh my god, I'm crashing. I hit a button, I don't even know what, my screen looks different now. Why do they have clip-ins on a stationary bike? I get it on a real bike, but on a stationary bike it doesn't make sense. I've been waiting for this comment my whole life. You don't know what you're talking about. Clip-ons are way more dangerous on a real bike because you gotta stop sometimes. On a stationary bike, like if you stop pedaling, you don't fall over, man. My grandma goes to Costco, didn't know you're 50? Your grandma's 50? How old's your mom and how old are you? Like, are you like 1 year old or like what happened? Maybe, okay, so your grandma's 50, your mom had you when she was 16, which would make you 34? I don't know if that's how that works. So wrong. Top 5 movies of all time. I don't like to answer that question because it leaves me open for criticism. Also, I don't really think about that too much. I mostly just try to think about it like, it's exhausting to have to maintain and consistently defend like a top 4 or top 5 list. I'm not just saying this to be an asshole, but I think honestly, I mean, there were like 2 decades where I said that my favorite movie of all time was Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and I believed it, but I also simultaneously held the opinion that Adaptation was a better movie that I liked more. And for some reason, like both of those thoughts exist in my head, and like I don't have any problem with the cognitive dissonance. And yet you think Charlie Kaufman's best movie is bad? No, I think his best movie is really good. I think it's Adaptation. I think his most ambitious movie is bad, Synecdoche, New York. Or I'm thinking of Ending Things, which I think is both unambitious and bad. Sorry. I'm sorry, I'm not a Synecdoche head. And you might not take me seriously, but I am gonna tell you that I'm a real one, okay? I followed the production of Schenectady, New York on a Charlie Kaufman-based blog for like 5 years, because it took a while to make. Maybe it was like 3 years, but still. So I saw it like opening weekend when it came out, and I was just not feeling it in the slightest. That's true, you are not getting pussy talking about Adaptation. You might have a chance with Schenectady, because it's like, it insists upon itself, exactly. But as soon as you're like, hey, you want to watch this Nicolas Cage movie? I don't really like Nicolas Cage. Well, he plays both of the main characters. It's really good. And it is. It is really good, people. You should give it a chance. But you know what movie I gave a 5-star on Letterboxd and have not regretted it once in the intervening month? Jacob's Ladder. That's one of those movies where, like, when I was watching it, I was like, this movie passes the vibe check like 100%. And then every time, like after I watched I gave The Substance a 4.5. I had a good time watching The Substance. But then every subsequent day has diminished the substance in my mind for some reason, which is not necessarily fair to the movie. Jacob's Ladder is like the exact opposite. Every day that passes without having watched Jacob's Ladder, I like Jacob's Ladder a little bit more, and I already liked it a lot when I watched it. It's a crash out documentary. Tim Robbins does have some certifiable crash. I mean, almost the whole thing is Tim Robbins crashing out. XQC wants to collab. That would be huge for me, man. I'm looking to get out of bronze in Overwatch 1. Like my hero. I could use the carry. I think I need it because I'm on lethal for the next 15 rounds straight. I need to look at the board and say, is this a survivable board? No. That's almost exactly the same, but we gotta bounce as much as possible. We're gonna need to get it to at least 10,000. Thank you for putting me onto that video. I'm a big fan. I did not see his nighttime routine. By the way, when I left, people were -2ing me to oblivion for this take. Now that you've seen the dude and his morning routine, do you agree with me that the older a man gets, the more sus it is that he has abs? I'm telling you, this is not stuff that I just come up with off the top of my head. This is like lived experience. When like a 20-year-old man has abs, it's not sus. You're like born with abs and you haven't accrued like the technical debt to cover the abs yet. Not most people, many people haven't. But like if you're like, when you're in your mid-30s, maybe like 36 and a half and older, and you have like a visible six-pack, my sus meter starts ticking because you're hotter than I am, and that's not okay with me. Something's not right, man. And like 40-year-old dudes with abs, you're like, okay, like I get it, you're a realtor or like the CEO of like a crypto mining company or whatever. But 50-year-old and 60-year-old dudes with abs, I'm like, you are fucking playing God. You're throwing a drink in God's face. Something's not right, man. What does sus mean to you? It's just, I don't want to tell you what it means to me because in my head I'm like, they're the devil. I don't really know how to explain it, but like, 60-year-olds don't naturally have abs. So I look at it as a badge of having like a broken personality to have a six-pack in your 50s. I don't look at it as like, wow, this guy has like a great diet and he's dedicated and he exercises. I look at it as like he is a narcissist that thinks he should live forever, and every single ab that he gets is just like, it's just burying like seated like guilt that he feels inside of himself or something like that, which is not fair. But I feel like you have like a dark aura if you're an old man with abs. Like you're not normal. And that could be good, but it's definitely scary. Like you have something went wrong, or like you have a, like deep in your past, you have you've committed like a serious crime or done something really fucked up. That means you need to have a six-pack when you're 57 years old. Then that's probably, again, that's not fair, but like, that's what it triggers, like it's a neuron activation, like deep in my ape brain. So maybe there is some shit in our evolutionary history. That's like, if you see a motherfucker that's like your grandpa's age, but he has a six-pack, don't go into business together or something, because he's gonna screw you over. I don't know, man. That's an appeal to nature? Fuck. It fucking is an appeal to nature. Shit. All right. We need something that helps us get past... You know what? Pants. We go pants. Pops a random peg, gives double points. Every 10 pegs popped. This is a survivable board. No doublings? Oh my god. What was the percentage chance to get no doublings from double Jake the Snakes? They put a hit out on me. What are the chances that it happens twice? Something wasn't right, man. That is an appeal to bullshit. That was like a 1 in a billion chance. That's like shuffling a deck of cards and drawing a royal flush. And now, would you rather go to heaven or suffer the fate of Sisyphus? Listen, kid. You're conflating pretenses, okay? I would rather go to heaven. Heaven is an infinite paradise that you can be in for time everlasting. That being said, I would mog the average individual that got the Sisyphus punishment. Like if a bunch of motherfuckers got Sisyphus, I would be among the best of them. I would easily say upper decile, maybe even top 1%. I'm not saying the best ever. I think my spirits would be relatively high compared to the average motherfucker in a Sisyphus type situation. But would I rather be Sisyphus? No, man. I would rather we all be happy in heaven or whatever. But if we're going boulder for boulder in Sisyphus, I mog you easily. I'm not saying I would push the rock to the top fastest. I'm saying I would have a smile on my face the whole time. It's not about pushing the rock to the top fastest, man, because you're just going to have to push it up again. It's about enjoying the process of pushing it, because the struggle is what makes us human, man. I would not be a whiny bastard, man. I don't whine that much in real life. Ask my wife. I don't whine that much in real life. What I do is way over the top, unnecessarily rude verbal takedowns of normal people in my vicinity who are just living their lives and minding their own business. I never go like, oh, the food's taking too long. Instead, I go, look at this dude over here. Look at this dude over here with his fucking hat. What do you think he's thinking with that hat like that? That's the type of guy I am. I've never really worked a blue-collar job except for that one day that I was like a mover. But I think I'm like on a... If you're in a small blue-collar team, you don't want me because I don't know if I would like be like the jack-of-all-trades workhorse that you need. But if you had like a big crew, you wouldn't mind having me on the crew. Because I keep things lubricated. I keep morale high. I make witty observations about the situation around us that recontextualize maybe hardships we're going through as some like trauma that we can bond over because we share it together. You know how like the optimum way to organize 13 squares inside of a circle looks all fucked up or whatever? Like it's not a grid or anything. It's like all... I'm like the 13th square. If you got 12 squares, you want them in like a fucking grid. But if you got to put a 13th square in there, that's me. You want the dude that's a little akimbo. What does that even mean? You're fired. See you tomorrow for gaming vidya. You, sir, have won the internet today.
Feel good. Feel good.
Change. City's breaking down on a camel's back. They just gotta go cause they don't know whack. So while you fill the streets, it's appealing to see. You won't get undercounted cause you're damn free. Feel good, you got a new horizon, it's ephemeral style. A melancholy town where we never smile. And all I wanna hear is the message beep. My dreams, they got her kissing cause I don't get sleep. No, and I don't feel so good. Windmill for the land. Drum forever, hand in hand. Take it all on your stride. It is ticking, falling down. Love forever, love has freely turned forever, you and me. Windmill for the land. Is everybody in? Laughing gas, these hazmats, fast cats, lining them all like ass cracks. Play these ponies at the track, it's my chocolate attack. I'm stepping in out of this here, Care Bear repping in harder this year. Watch me as I gravitate, ha 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 ha. We gon' ghost town, this Motown, with your sound up in the blink. Gon' bite the dust, can't fight with us. With your sound, you kill the ink, so don't stop, get it, until you jet ahead and watch the way I navigate, ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha! What's so funny? It's
Good.
bow,
Oh my God.
bow.
Feel good.
Shabada.
Feel good.
Scoobity boop-a-doo.
Feel good.
This is in the music video. The thing is rising in the clouds and the atmosphere. The song goes hard, the song goes soulful. It's got everything you could want. Windmill for the land. Turn forever, hand in hand. Take it all up on your stride. It steady, watch me navigate. Ha 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 ha. Woo! No, 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 bow, bow, now.
Feel good.
Scoop it up, bow, 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 now.
Feel good.
Doing a bow, bow, bow.
Feel good.
No, scoop it up, bow, bow.
Feel good.
Oh, look at that. That was
really amazing, Ryan.
Kate, it's my chocolate attack.
I don't know what that means.
That's what I had to say in that song. It's
That
my
was really good,
chocolate
Ryan.
attack.
That was really good.